Welcome to Audiobook Bay. Today we're diving into Essentialism by Greg McKeown, a transformative guide to doing less but achieving more. In a world of infinite demands and limited time, Essentialism teaches you to identify what truly matters and eliminate everything else. Most people operate under the false assumption that they must say yes to every opportunity. This leads to diluted effort, shallow results, and constant exhaustion. Essentialism reveals a radical alternative. By being disciplined about what deserves your attention, you achieve extraordinary impact in what matters most. The word essentialism contains the word essential. This is the core insight. Not all activities are created equal. Some create tremendous value, others consume time with minimal return. The essentialist's superpower is saying no to the latter repeatedly. Takeaway 1. The discipline of essentialism starts with clarity. Essentialism is not about doing more with less time. It is about identifying the vital few among the trivial many, then organizing your life around those essentials. This requires brutal honesty about what actually matters. Most people have never asked themselves, what would I do if I had only one day? What would I eliminate immediately? This question reveals your true priorities beneath the noise of social conditioning and obligation. Your answer becomes a North Star for future decisions. Clarity requires reflection. You must step back from constant activity and ask, which 10% of my effort creates 90% of my results? Which relationships amplify my growth most? Which skills would I preserve if everything else was stripped away? These questions expose your actual essentials versus pretend essentials. Your action: list 20 things you're currently doing. Circle the 3 that would cause the most damage if removed. These are your essentials. Takeaway 2. Saying no is not unkindness, it is integrity. The biggest barrier to essentialism is guilt. People fear that saying no will disappoint others or appear selfish. But every yes to something mediocre is a no to something essential. The essentialist reframes no as honoring their values. Boundaries are not cruelty. They are clarity. When you protect your attention from low-impact activities, you have abundant energy for high-impact pursuits. This ultimately benefits everyone around you because your contributions become more meaningful. You show up fully for the things you commit to instead of partially for everything. Saying no is a skill. It requires practice and a graceful formula. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm not the right person for this. Or, that sounds interesting, and my current priorities don't allow bandwidth for it. These statements preserve relationships while maintaining boundaries. Your action: identify one commitment you've said yes to that doesn't align with your essential goals. Plan how you'll gracefully exit it. Takeaway 3. Play is not frivolous. It sharpens your creative mind. Western culture valorizes constant productivity and treats play as laziness. Essentialism rejects this false choice. Play is essential for psychological restoration, creative insight, and sustained performance. The most creative people guard their playtime fiercely. The highest performers in any field protect time for play because it recalibrates their nervous system and unlocks novel thinking. Scientists solve equations while on walks. Musicians discover songs while noodling without agenda. Writers find voice while journaling without purpose. Play is not escape, it is sharpening. The strategic essentialist schedules play with the same intensity they schedule work. They recognize that what looks like time off is actually investment in creative capacity. This is why the most productive people seem less busy than those with mediocre output. They protect time for restoration and play. Your action: block 4 hours this week for play in an activity that genuinely delights you. Treat this commitment as non-negotiable. Takeaway 4. Sleep is your operating system, not a luxury. Most ambitious people treat sleep as something to minimize. Essentialism inverts this logic. Sleep is foundational to every outcome that matters. Decision quality, emotional regulation, immune function, learning all depend on sleep. Yet sleep remains one of the first things people sacrifice. The data on sleep deprivation is clear. After 16 hours without sleep, cognitive function drops equivalent to legal intoxication. After 24 hours, most of your cognitive advantage is gone. Yet many people operate chronically in this state and wonder why their performance suffers. The essentialist recognizes that protecting sleep actually accelerates progress on what matters. It is not time lost. It is investment in capability. The best decision you make today might be made worse by sleep deprivation. The best execution tomorrow requires cognitive clarity only sleep provides. Your action: for the next 2 weeks, prioritize 8 hours of sleep nightly. Track how your decision quality and productivity shift. Takeaway 5: become skilled at the graceful no. Saying no is a skill requiring practice. The graceful no acknowledges the request respectfully while maintaining your boundary. It sounds like, "I appreciate you thinking of me, and I'm not the right person for this," or "That sounds interesting, and my current priorities don't allow for it." The key is removing ambiguity. Vague maybes create false hope and relationship strain. People then spend cycles hoping you'll change your mind instead of finding alternatives. Clear, kind refusals let people adjust expectations quickly and find solutions that don't depend on you. Respect the other person by being honest. They deserve to know definitively whether you're in or out. This allows them to move forward. The cruelest response is the maybe that never resolves, creating dependency on your vague commitment. Your action: practice 3 ways you could say no gracefully. Write them down and rehearse them before your next request comes. Takeaway 6: excellence requires constraint, not freedom. Paradoxically, unlimited options lead to mediocre results. The essentialist recognizes that constraints force prioritization and creativity. When you have limited resources, you allocate them strategically rather than spreading them thin. Great artists impose constraints. Great entrepreneurs operate with scarcity. Great writers limit their scope. The most focused artists, athletes, and entrepreneurs have powerful constraints guiding their work. These constraints are not obstacles, they are clarity. They answer the question, what should I say no to so I can execute brilliantly on what matters? Unlimited time produces procrastination and perfectionism. Limited time produces focus and decision-making. Unlimited budget produces waste. Constrained budget produces innovation. The essentialist chooses constraint as a tool for excellence. Your action: impose 1 new constraint on your work this month. Limited time, resources, or scope that forces you to prioritize ruthlessly. Takeaway 7: routine removes decision fatigue from your non-essentials. Every decision depletes mental energy. By routinizing non-essential decisions, you preserve cognitive capacity for essential choices. This is why highly accomplished people wear similar clothes, eat similar meals, and follow similar morning routines. The essentialist automates trivial decisions so their mental energy is available for what requires genuine thought and creativity. This is not boring. It is strategic. Routine is a tool for protecting your highest value attention. Steve Jobs wore the same turtleneck. Elon Musk eats similar meals. Tim Cook has a regimented morning. These are not quirks, they are wisdom. By removing decisions from non-essentials, they gain decision capacity for essentials. Your choice architecture should serve your essential priorities, not your impulses. Your action: identify 3 non-essential decisions you make daily. Design a routine that removes decision-making from each one. Takeaway 8: prepare for success by creating space for opportunity. Most people assume success requires constant hustling. Essentialism teaches that success requires prepared readiness. When you eliminate non-essentials, you create space for unexpected opportunities that align with your values. The essentialist is not busy all the time, they are focused and available. This paradoxically accelerates success because when opportunity arrives, they have the bandwidth to pursue it fully. Busyness is the enemy of serendipity. You cannot recognize valuable opportunities when you're drowning in commitments. Preparation plus space equals readiness. The prepared person who says no to everything can say yes to the right thing immediately. The busy person says maybe, delays, considers later, and loses the window. Success favors those ready to move decisively. Your action: block 3 to 5 hours per week of completely unscheduled time. Use this space for thinking, exploring, and preparation. Takeaway 9: Contribution, not activity, is your metric. Most people measure progress by activity: meetings attended, emails answered, hours logged. The essentialist measures progress by contribution: problems solved, value created, impact made. These are often inverse metrics. You can appear busy while contributing nothing. You can appear inactive while creating tremendous value. The essentialist chooses the latter, even when it looks wrong to observers. Real progress is invisible to those measuring the wrong thing. A scientist working quietly on a breakthrough looks less productive than a manager in constant meetings, yet the scientist creates more value. This requires confidence to resist the optics of busyness. You must measure yourself by contribution and defend that metric against external judgment. The outcome is a life of actual impact instead of apparent productivity. Your action. For 1 week, track your 3 most meaningful contributions. Identify what made them possible and protect those conditions. Takeaway 10. Essentialism is a practice, not a destination. You will never achieve perfect essentialism. New opportunities, relationships, and obligations will continuously pull you off track. The work is perpetual refinement, not achievement of a final state. Each time you protect your essential work from the mediocre, you strengthen this discipline. The essentialist's superpower is saying no regularly, not perfectly. Over time, this becomes instinctive, and your impact compounds dramatically. You accumulate power in your essential work that non-essentialists cannot match because they dilute effort across everything. This gap widens over months and years. Your action. Schedule a monthly review where you examine new commitments and eliminate anything misaligned with essentials. Make this routine. Essentialism is not about being selfish or unrealistic. It is about recognizing that your time and attention are finite, so how you deploy them determines everything. The choice between essentialism and default busyness is the choice between a meaningful life and a fragmented one. By being ruthless about what deserves your energy, you unlock the capacity to achieve remarkable results in what truly matters. The 50th law teaches fearlessness. Essentialism teaches you where to direct that fearlessness. Thanks for listening to Audiobook Bay.